for the Golden Eagles, we have at guard number 3, Marcus Montgomery. At guard number 4, Brian Tribble. At forward number 5, Xavier Jerry.
Thank you.
Forward number 23, Jaquan Edwards. At forward number 25.
And we welcome you to Fulton, Missouri for the second game of our doubleheader here from historic Westminster College in Fulton. It is a chilly day outside. Temperatures have dipped below 30. The wind continues to howl, but we're ready for some hot hoops in historic gym. And hello, everybody. Welcome inside the broadcast booth. My name is Garrett Jones. Happy to have you with us. Big day of basketball here on campus. Westminster women with a 75-70 win, but the Westminster men need a huge win. They are just 5-8 on the season, looking for win number 5 in SLIAC play. They host the Spalding Golden Eagles, who travel from Louisville, Kentucky. They are 3-11 on the season, 3-4 in SLIAC play. Happy to have you with us. My name is Garrett Jones. Happy to be with you. First off, let's get you the starters for Spalding. Marcus Montgomery, Brian Tribble, Chave Gary, Jaquan Edwards, and Tori Amonair wrap up the Spalding 5. Again, that's Montgomery, Tribble, Gary, Edwards, Amonair for head coach Kevin Gray in his 22nd season. As for Westminster, the home team, they run out with Emil Springs, Landon Harrison, Jackson Altos, Ethan Thompson, and Trent Barber. Again, that's Spriggs, Harrison, Altos, Thompson, and Barber for head coach Matt Mitchell in his 19th season. Westminster comes out in the alternate grays, mirroring what the women decided to do with their jerseys this afternoon. Spalding comes out in the road blues with white lettering accented by gold piping. Our officials this afternoon, Zach Good, who will handle the tip, Jake Keller, and Bobby Edwards. We're underway. Westminster wins the tip. They'll be moving left to right. Spalding on defense first. They're moving right to left. Quick pace of play here in the men's game. Jackson Altos quickly feeds it for Emil Springs. Trey on the right wing goes. Ethan Thompson, 45% from outside this season, gets things going with a bang. And now Spalding comes back the other way, moving right to left for the first time today. This is a unit that averaged 70.5 points per game. Westminster comes in at 84.5. Jumper for Jaquan Edwards goes from the right block. 14.5 points per game for him on the season. He also leads the team in rebounding and field goal percentage. Trent Barber, a second-year player in the program, feeds it over for Landon Harrison, been a revelation as a true freshman. Give and go, Harrison right to the cup, finishes amid heavy pressure. True freshman from Jefferson City, Missouri, and Helias Catholic High School. Originally committed to Columbia College, but Westminster is certainly glad to have him, leading the team with 17 points a game. Jumper, strong. Another rebound. Edwards lost it, tips out to a teammate. Gary slows it down for Tribble. Spalding visiting from Louisville, Kentucky. Gary leaves that one short on the rim. Freshman from Santa Maria, Spain. Gave his way for Westminster, who goes quickly. Cross-court pass for Marcus Montgomery. He averages 17 points a game. Lost it. Save. 12 to shoot. Strong play down low for Emil Springs, but he lost it. And he got fouled on the way up, so he'll go to the free throw line. Emil Springs, a junior from Lee Summit High School in the Kansas City area. 68% at the stripe this season. Westminster as a team shooting 73%. First one goes for Spriggs. What better time to profile the head man at Westminster, Matt Mitchell, in his 19th season, 243 and 234 his record. Also serves as the school's athletic director. Second one goes for Spriggs to make it a 6-point game. Just under 2 minutes into it. Tribble slows things down. Dribble handoff for Montgomery. Third team All-SLIAC last year. Spalding trying to go quickly. They throw it away that time. He'll stay with them with 14 to shoot. Gary feeds it down low for Edwards, using his body to get a little bit of space and score. Right back to a 3-point game. Expect a close contest this afternoon. Spalding just desperate for victories. They have just 3 on the season. They didn't win a single game in non-conference play. Ambitious Trey won't go for Altos. Long rebound for Tribble. Weave in and out. Gary leans into a Trey. Won't go. Rebound tips to Harrison. Harrison with the head of steam. Steps into a jumper. It goes. Landon Harrison gets it to go. 9 points off 4 of 15 field goals last game out. He came off the bench as Mitchell tried to adjust the rotation, but clearly far too talented not to start. Jumper for Montgomery, left it a little short. Rebound for Westminster. 5-point advantage for the home team. Nifty ball handling for Harrison. From another area code, Ethan Thompson gets it to go. 20 points his last time out, a 45% three-point shooter. Gets that one to go. Westminster tripling up its opposition in the early going. Aminair down low, tried to force it in. Out and running. Thompson to the rack, can't finish. Altos hits the deck. We got a whistle and we'll stay on this end with Westminster. Altos really slow to get up. Sophomore out of Oak Grove, Missouri, and Oak Grove High School is tended to by the head athletic trainer. Able to walk off under his own power, so good sign there. Stephen Brandt, a junior, second year in this Westminster program, is into the game. Mitchell Prince also subbed in. Brandt gets it off the inbound. Jumper for Barber. Rebound for Edwards. Spalding already trailing early, an offense that struggles to score. Struggles even more to guard. They give up 80.4 points per game. On the low block, stop jumper for Eminer, and it goes. 2 points for the sophomore out of Frankfort, Kentucky. And Westminster's lead is now halved. Jumper goes. Emil Spriggs gets that one to rain home. 4 early points for him. Dribble for Jaquan Edwards. A freshman from Indianapolis. A revelation so far for Spalding, leading his team in offense. 16-footer rains home. Jaquan Edwards can really do it all over the field. Leads his team with 55% from the floor, but he can also stretch it with 33% of his outside shots going. Thompson, jumper goes. 3 points for Ethan Thompson. He's been hot early. 9 early points off 3 3-point baskets. And what do you know? He leads his team with 45% from outside. Thompson, strong. Long rebound for Spriggs. Harrison from deep. That one goes. Westminster has shot out of a cannon. They are really stretching it from outside. 4 of 6 from beyond the arc. They've got a 20-8 lead. Timeout for head coach Kevin Gray. And we'll make sure to profile him as we get a little break in the action and keep it here. Gray, in his 22nd season, has 3 separate NCAA Division III tournament appearances, 300-plus wins on his career, 4 conference championships to his name, an impressive resume that includes assistant coaching stops at Division I Alabama and Baylor. Matt Mitchell for Westminster, also with some Division I stops on his resume, but as a player, he played at Valparaiso and Arkansas under former national championship winning head coach Nolan Richardson. And his Razorbacks have a huge game today They take on the number 10 Kentucky Wildcats at home at Bud Walton Arena. Coach Gray's former Crimson Tide also with the big contest, taking on the local Missouri Tigers in the mid-slate. Alabama up 47-40 at the break. I'll give you updates on both of those contests as our game progresses. Back to Fulton now, where Marcus Montgomery will trigger the inbound. His team in a 12-point hole. It's been a struggle for them so far this year, 8 games below 500. Prince stays into the game. Over for Tribble. Sophomore from Richmond, Kentucky. Feed in the low post to Braden Warren, just into the game, lost his footing and turns it over. He'll go back the other way with Westminster. McKee Gilbreth just back into the game. Hometown product out of Fulton, Missouri, and Fulton High School. Omar Wright also into the game. Now for Wright on the right wing. Dribble handoff. Gilbreth lost the handle, gets it back. Harrison walked. A rare turnover so far for Westminster. That's just their first of the ball game. Spalding makes a substitution. Clady Weathers, a true freshman from Elton, Kentucky, into the game. 13:40 and running left to play before the halftime. Back up for Weathers. Spalding struggling to score. 3 halfway down and out for Jaquan Edwards. Harrison out and running, slows things down. Grant, great court vision. Harrison at the top of the key. Westminster slinging it around. Trey, turned down. Grant leans into it with 8. Strong. Offensive rebound, go back up and score. That's Nick Solentrop making a rare appearance. He gets an offensive board and sticks it right back home. (22-8). Westminster has dominated this game from the jump. Edwards leaves it on over for Tribble. 8 to shoot now. They go to him in the low block. Trying to body a defender. Now 3 to shoot. They've got to do something with it. Tribble heaves it up. Missed everything. Shot clock violation. They'll go back the other way for Westminster. Dominant performance so far for Matt Mitchell's bunch. They have struggled defensively in their last few matchups. They give up 95 in the loss to Fontbonne on Thursday night. They give up 78 in last Saturday's loss to Webster. And even in their last win, January 8th against Blackburn, they gave up 73. Prime defensive effort so far. Solentrop leaves it over for Wright. Reinforcements in the game for Westminster. Push off for Brian Tribble, and you see the frustration for Troy Amanere, a starter back into the game. Can't be easy to go winless on the non-conference slate. They did play a gauntlet of a schedule. But in the SLIAC, where teams are so evenly matched, see things like 3 non-conference wins come Spalding's way. Wright lost the handle, stolen away by Tribble. Numbers for Westminster. And we got a timeout from Gray before it was a turnover. We'll take a break with them. 22-8, 11:48 left in the first half. Westminster in control in Fulton. Welcome back to Historic Gym. Spalding trailing with the basketball, 22-8. Westminster with a really solid effort through the first 10 minutes. Chave Gary fires in the low post, a little strong. Aminer able to fire it back. Mitchell Prince, smallest player on the floor, trying to keep up. 10 seconds to shoot for Gary, but he walked. Another turnover is plaguing Spalding so far. That's their third in the game. We'll come back the other way with Westminster. And this offense has not struggled to score at all. 84.8 points a game coming in. They've already put up 22 on the board, largely thanks to a three-point shooting prominence, 4 of 7 from outside already. Solentrop gets that one to go. 3-point bucket for the true freshman from St. Charles, Missouri, in Duquesne High School. And now a 17-point lead for Westminster. Aminer gets right to the rim and lays it up with a smooth touch. Omar Wright weaves in. Solentrop thought about a three. Back for Wright. Altos back into the game. Thompson with 9. Pulls it up. Feed on over for Steph Campbell. Solentrop another tray. Strong. Great hustle there by Wright to try to grab a board. But Spalding secures it. Prince leans into a long dribble. It won't go. Another jumper for Altos. Well short. Steph Campbell fights for an offensive board. Feed to Altos. Great court vision there by Steph Campbell off the offensive rebound. He finds a cutting Jackson Altos. And Westminster's lead back up to 17. Another takeaway. That's the 4th Spalding turnover. Thompson tried the no-look pass. A 2-on-1 leads to an easy bucket. And Thompson upset with himself for being flashy. Cost his team a bucket. Wright gives it up for Thompson. Leading scorer so far for Westminster. Altos spins in the lane, and he took too many steps. Come back the other way for Spalding. So some palpable momentum off a couple of bad Westminster offensive possessions. Trenton Barber back into the game. Sophomore out of Jamestown, Missouri, Jamestown High School. Montgomery, a lead pass. Mitchell Prince slowing things down. Getting some heavy minutes so far for Gray's bunch. The runner won't go. Tie up and a whistle. And he'll stay with Spalding. Amble Springs back into the game. Larry Harrison as well. Braden Warren gets a break. Jaquan Edwards back in. 9:07 left before the intermission. Edwards pushed off. But they're going to get Althus for a hand check. And after a really fast start to this game, it slowed down quite a bit. Westminster comes in at 3rd place in the SLIAC table, 4-3 in conference play. Spalding 3 of 4. And despite no wins in the non-conference slate, it's a completely different schedule. And they find themselves in the thick of things in the middle of a crowded SLIAC. Prince tosses up a jumper that won't go. Westminster cherry picking. Thompson rejected. Give Prince a lot of credit. They're going to call him for a foul, but the smallest player in the court went up and tried to stuff a gunning Ethan Thompson. Now send the sophomore to the free throw line where he's made 73% of those attempts this season. Westminster as a team shoots pretty well from the stripe as well, 73% as a unit. First one goes begging. And Spalding makes some substitutions. Braden Warren back into the game. Gray looking for some size down low. Thompson's second one goes, so back up to a 16-point lead. Montgomery, a junior from Louisville and Butler High School. On over now for Chavagari. Dribble handoff for Montgomery. Edwards going to work in the low block. Slips around. Nice reverse. Left it just a bit short. Westminster scores in transition. That's Ethan Thompson ripping that one home. How about 6 of 11 from outside to start the game for the home team? Aminer down low, able to draw a whistle. You get Trent Barber for his first personal. That's the second on Westminster. Nelson Aminer to the free throw line, where he's made 50% of his attempts this season. First one off. Spalding, decent at the free throw line this year, 67% clip. Second one goes. 31-13, Westminster mirroring the score of their opponents so far in this game. Under 8 left to play before the intermission. Springs thought about a long jumper. Thompson turns it down. Feeling it. First miss of the day. That was from Curry range, but an offensive rebound. It hits the deck. Barber sticks with it, and Edwards takes it away. Spalding not in a hurry, despite being down by 18. Westminster's largest lead of the day. Edwards, a triple. Well short. Rebound, Aminer goes back up and leaves it on the rim. Rebound for Harrison, weaving through traffic. You see the speed. He's able to draw a whistle. How about that from Landon Harrison? He had a couple of Spalding defenders converging on him in the half court. He's able to lead to a 3-on-2. We'll stay with Westminster. They need an inbounder. This offense, you can just tell by the amount of points per game they put up. They love to go fast. We've seen that so far in the opening minutes. Emil Spriggs leans into a triple. Well short. I apologize if I keep on saying Emil Springs. I definitely mean Emil Spriggs. Edwards over for Chavagari. Down low, Edwards pushed off. Jaquan Edwards, a talented true freshman, couldn't restrain himself that time. Going to change the call there. Actually get Clady Weathers on a ball away. Westminster with the chance to go up by 20. Harrison, good ball fake. Wide open, Spriggs lays it up and in. Spalding fell asleep, and the crafty point guard able to slip home. 8 early points for Spriggs. Edwards dribble handoff. Chavagari in the low post. Edwards tried to go up, able to draw a foul. And they'll get Altos for his second. Third team foul on Westminster. Edwards to the free throw line where he's shooting 59% on the season. First one goes. Substitutions for Spalding. Aminer back into the game. Omar Wright in for Westminster. And Jaquan Edwards leads his team with 6 points so far. You can just see the talent. Imposing frame. Stands at 6'5", 200 pounds, but you can definitely see the raw athleticism when he gets loose in the low post. Project to build around for Spalding, not a doubt about it. Harrison tries it from downtown, it won't go. And a rebound for Edwards. Spalding getting doubled up so far here in Fulton. Gary floats it down low. You see the wingspan from Edwards. Nice job to corral that one and lay it in. Westminster's lead down to 16. They led by as many as 20. Barber, low post feed, right. Slips away, leads to Harrison. Another triple, it goes. Landon Harrison good from outside, a 40% shooter this season. Now 2 of 3 from deep. Now for Chave Gary. Low post Aminair. Somehow sticks with it, leaves it on the rim. Takeaway. Emil Spriggs coming back with it. 3 on 2. Harrison, nifty dribble moves. Eyes on the back of his head. Thompson left it short. Great follow from Omar, right? You see the athleticism. He soars and lays that one in. 38-17, Westminster in control. Long 3 goes for Marcus Montgomery, 34% from outside this season. Barber in the low post, a little bit of space. Harrison trying to slip away, the no-look dish. Feed to Barber, now with 10. Float up from Spriggs, short. Westminster's been able to bust out the moves here in the first half with some nifty extra passes and some great ball movement to boot. Screen from Aminair. Montgomery hits the deck. Contact and a whistle. They'll get Omar Wright on the block. That's his first personal. Team's 4th. Group substitutions for both squads. Tribble now back in, along with Braden Warren for Spalding. Steph Campbell into the contest for Westminster, along with Nick Solentrop. Blue Jays looking for win number 6 on the season, win number 5 in the SLIAC. If they do, they would match the women's team record. Saw them get a big win here on the Westminster Athletics YouTube page earlier today. 3:47 and counting before the break. Tribble feeds it over for Thompson, shakes off a defender, tosses it up, and a rebound for Brand. Right. Westminster going really slow at this point. They've led by as many as 20. Nifty feed. Steph Campbell finds a cutting Nick Solentrop. How about the effort from the true freshman? 7 points for Will Solentrop. Nearly took it away that time, but it finds its way to Aminair. Tribble. Back over for the big man. Good low post feed. And Braden Warren cuts to the bucket and scores. Bad giveaway there for Westminster. Their 6th turner of the day. Tribble rips through and scores. So 4 fast points for Spalding, trying to keep in it. Spalding back into his zone. Thompson left open, left it on the rim. Rebound tipped, out of bounds off Westminster. Make it 3 straight possessions without a bucket for the Blue Jays. In case you're just now joining us, Westminster never found itself in the early hole. They have dominated this from the jump, looking to put it right away before halftime. Just over 2 minutes left. Thompson feeds the low post. Turnaround jumper goes. 6-0 run. Jaquan Edwards with the bucket that time. Here's Brant. Back over for Campbell. One more right. Gets a little bit of space. Brant feeds Soentrop. Jumper strong. And a rebound for Edwards. Showing his ball handling ability as he crosses the logo. Great court vision, able to find a man on the wing. But they'll get Campbell on a push-off. So Westminster went up by 20 with their last basket, but in the last 2 minutes, Spalding's been in control of the game. They're still down by 14. They've got an inbound from their own basket. Chance to pull back within 12. Float in. Spinning and winning. Braden Warren right to the hoop. 8-0 run. Right. With a minute left. Over for Campbell. Brant open. Missed it. Westminster 0 for its last 4. 52 seconds before the break. Tribble can cut it down to a 10-point lead. Edwards thought about a 3, pulls it down. Jumper goes. 10-0 run for Spalding, largely on the shoulders from Jaquan Edwards, who's got his season average 14 points in this contest. Shot clock and game clock separated by 3 seconds. Blue Jays can go 2 for 1. Campbell. Over for Thompson with 10 to shoot. Wright with 7. Spalding playing great defense. Wright with 3. Brant with 2. It goes long. Another scoreless possession for Westminster. Spalding on a 10-0 run has a chance to dwindle it down to single digits before the half. Rolls on in for Montgomery. Montgomery with 1. Half-court heave. Nearly went. So Spalding able to stay in it. It's a 10-point Westminster lead, but no Blue Jay fan is comfortable in the crowd. They led by as many as 20. We'll be back for the break after halftime. Your score, Westminster 40, Spalding 30 on the Westminster Athletics YouTube page. And welcome back to the Palace, where Winston Churchill once gave his famous Sinews of Peace speech here at Fulton, Missouri. Westminster College, the home of the Blue Jays, they've got a 10-point lead against visiting Spalding Golden Eagles. Welcome back. My name is Garrett Jones, here for a quick look at your halftime stats before we get things going. Westminster, 50% from outside, 75% from the free throw line for both schools. Blue Jays much better shooting from outside, 7 of 19 from beyond the arc. Spalding just 1 of 12, 16 rebounds for Westminster, 4 of those coming offensively, 5 turnovers for Westminster to the Golden Eagles 12. Individually for both teams, Jaquan Edwards leads all scorers with 14 for Spalding. Marcus Montgomery not far behind him with 5. Tori Amanor with 5 himself. Ethan Thompson leads the way for Westminster with 13. Landon Harrison's got 10. And Will Solentrop, how about the performance from the true freshman? He's poured off 7 off the bench. Inbound for Landon Harrison, and we're underway. Blue Jays in the alternate gray jerseys moving right to left. Spalding in the row blues will be moving left to right for the second. Thompson gives it up. All toss. Quiet in the first. He and Thompson not on the same page that time, and he throws it away. It is worth noting Westminster scored 40 to pull away. They were up by 20 at that point, the largest lead of the game. Spalding finished the half on a 10-0 run to get back in the game, and suddenly they've got a chance to dwindle it back down to single digits. Chave Gary in the corner. Swings it down low, poked out of bounds. It'll stay with Spalding. Edwards, as I mentioned, point of emphasis for the Spalding offense in the first. 6 of 9 from the floor in the first. 7 rebounds for him, the true freshman. Low post. Amanere goes at the rim, leaves it short, tipped out of bounds. It'll go back with Westminster. Amanere not happy that time, but Westminster with some feisty defense down low. Here's Emil Spriggs. Crosses the 10-second strike. Westminster must go fast. They score 84.8 points per game. Thompson gives it up. All toss, getting physical in the low post. Spriggs a tray, why not? Leaves it short. Long rebound for Brian Tribble. Spalding looking for win number 4 in the season. All 3 of their prior wins have come in SLIAC play. As Spriggs tapes it away, goes with the behind the back. Nifty feed for Harrison, who gets down low and tries to body a defender, but he flung it over the backboard. Turnover for Westminster. 18:38 left to play in the second half. Just underway in the second frame. Turnovers have been interesting so far today. 7 for Westminster, 6 for the visiting Spalding Golden Eagles. Spalding couldn't take care of the basketball at the start, but they've rallied together and much improved in that area so far. 15.8 a game for Coach Kevin Gray's bunch. Low post. Amanere right at Barber. They went halfway down and out. And Barber grabs it. Frustration for Tori Amanere. Jumper for Barber from the elbow. Too strong. Long rebound for Tribble. And it has been a lengthy scoring drought for Westminster. They haven't scored in the last 5 minutes of game action. Tribble rumbled in the lane that time, but couldn't get it to go. And he'll go to the free throw line. Tribble is 74% free throw shooter on the year. Sophomore out of Richmond, Kentucky, and Henry Classy High School. Spalding, 67% as a team this year. Paints the first one home, and suddenly it's just a single-digit lead for Westminster. They dominated that first half, especially the first 10 minutes. They led by as many as 20. Now just an 8-point game. Blue Jays can't buy a bucket right now. Just over 2 minutes into the second half. Spriggs gets loose. Right at his defender, left it on the rim. Edwards in the low post. Extra pass, Montgomery, a triple, short. Rebound for Altos. Harrison pulls up in transition. That's exactly what Westminster needed. Right back in control thanks to a Landon Harrison triple. True freshman at Elias Catholic, about 45 minutes south of Jefferson City. Trey goes for Chave Gary, just a 31% shooter from outside, true freshman from Santa Maria, Spain. A long way from home, the only international player on either one of these two rosters. Quick jumper for Altos goes, as Westminster tries to mend that gap. A 10-point lead now for Brian Mitchell's bunch. Matt Mitchell, beg your pardon, the head coach. Steal for Altos. Look out, taking flight and dunking it home with two hands. Jackson Altos, 16.9 points a game tonight. First dunk of the ball game, and he's got 6. Floater strong for Aminair. Long rebound for Westminster. They've got the momentum now. Lean into a three for Amel Spriggs. The lead swells back to 15. It's still a 25-10 Spalding run. But Westminster back in control. Rim helps out that jumper from Chave Gary. Gary on the season averages 5 points a game, already eclipsed that total today. Giveaway, watch out in the front row. Westminster turns it over. Group substitutions for both squads. Mitchell Prince into the game for Spalding, along with Braden Warren. Tribble crosses the timeline. Screen from Edwards. Going to work on the block. Slips around a double and scores. Nifty move there from Jaquan Edwards, the true freshman. He's got 16 to lead all scorers. Westminster by 11 with 15 minutes left. Harrison. Triple goes. Landon Harrison feeling it from outside, now 4 of 5 from beyond the arc. One-on-one with Tribble. Edwards with 10 to shoot, lost it. Westminster was sure they had a takeaway, but they'll get him on the rip through. They'll get Jackson Altos. That's his third personal, so keep an eye on him. A starter in foul trouble for the home team. Third personal. Edwards will shoot free throws, where he shoots 59% on the season. First one goes. Edwards strong so far this afternoon. 17 points off 3 of 3 at the line, and 7 of 10 from the floor. Second one good. Spalding will take a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here during the break. This is a huge game for both teams. Spalding, even though they went winless in the non-conference slate, just 3-11 the record against non-SLEAC teams. They are 3-4 since conference play began with the turn of the new year. Westminster 4-3 in the SLEAC. Blue Jays third in the standings, Spalding sixth. But the separation between third and sixth is just one game. So theoretically, if Spalding were able to rally and steal a game in the second half, they would pull into a virtual tie with Westminster, with the results of Blackburn and Eureka, the 4th and 5th place teams, still to be seen here on a SLEAC Saturday. Both teams desperately need non-conference and conference wins. But with non-conference behind us, it's looking full speed ahead for both programs. 14:28 left to play in the second half. Spalding in his zone. Barber goes right at the rim, gets stuffed, but gets an offensive board, pokes it right in, and draws a foul. Trent Barber, the sophomore from Jamestown, Missouri, gets big in the low post. That's his first basket of the game, and he'll go to the free throw line for the first time this afternoon. Barber, 60% at the stripe this year. Second-year player in this Westminster program. 9 games a year ago. 15-point cushion for Westminster. They've led by as many as 20. Spalding whittled it all the way down to an 8-point lead. Gary threw it away. It'll come back the other way. Chave Gary still getting adjusted to the American collegiate game. Really struggled last time out. He had no points in 24 minutes off the bench. Harrison with eyes in the back of his head. Great extra pass. Harrison loads it up and connects on triple number 5 of the afternoon. How about the shooting performance for the true freshman? 5 of 6 from outside. And he's called for a foul that time. Late blocking foul. Harrison played for Alliance Catholic for 4 years down in Jefferson City. Strong athletic program overall. Edwards floats it up from the charity stripe. It won't go. Board for Harrison. Full speed ahead. Eyes on the back of his head once again leads to an Amble Springs tray. Westminster starting to feel it. They got their largest lead of the ballgame. How much can you say about the performance of Landon Harrison? He goes so fast on the floor. He's able to facilitate for his teammate and knock down 5 3-pointers to boot. Gary trying to get his team back in it. Offensive rebound for Edwards. Edwards, good extra pass. Tribble, strong. Rebound for Spriggs. Westminster really looking to pull away now. They let Spalding back into the game. They've got their foot on the gas pedal. Barber in the low post. Outlet pass for Altos. A little bit of space. Great feed for Thompson. Triple wasn't going out of his hands. Tribble nearly lost the handle, going full speed ahead. Spalding just needs buckets. Jumper, in and out. Mitchell Prince wanted it. Leads his team in 3-point shooting with 48% from outside. Behind the back pass, Landon Harrison. Couldn't get it to go. That would have been a nifty play for Westminster. It was a great pass nonetheless. And now Spalding with a chance. Westminster 12 of 27 from outside. They're going to get Spriggs for a foul away from the ball. He'll have to sub out. That's his second personal. Something to keep an eye on. Westminster's season high for team three-pointers was 18. That came on November 23rd against Manchester. They've already got 12 with 11 minutes and change left in this contest. Ethan Thompson knocked down 10 for an individual high against Eureka on December 14th. Hockey Gilbreth back into the game. 3 misses everything that time from Clay T. Weathers. And Harrison, what can he do with the basketball? Sets his teammate up for a good look. But Altos leaves it on the rim. Weathers, right at the rim. Nice Euro. Couldn't finish, but draws a foul. Going to get all toss for the foul that time. That's his 4th personal. So he's just one more away from fouling out. And Coach Mitchell will have to make a substitution. Looks like he's going to turn to Nick Solentrop. First one goes for Weathers. 88% at the free throw line this year and leads his team. Well, if Westminster's having to deal into its depth, that's a strength for this team. They have 21 roster players. Obviously, can't travel with 21 or dress out 21, but they sometimes deep 12 men into a rotation. Meanwhile, Spalding struggling to field a team at this point. They have just 10 listed on the roster. Timeout, Westminster. Mitchell will talk things over. We'll take a break. 11:06 left in the second half. Westminster 62, Spalding 43 on the Westminster Athletics YouTube page. And we welcome you back to Fulton, Missouri. Westminster College, the host of today's SLIAC contest between Westminster and Spalding. Blue Jays in control, a 19-point cushion. They've led by as many as 21. They'll inbound it here in the half-court set. I promised you I'd give you an update on 2 important SEC basketball contests. Matt Mitchell's former Arkansas Razorback, the head man here at Westminster, once played under Nolan Richardson there in Fayetteville. His Razorbacks in a big game. They're down by 9. At home against number 10 Kentucky, 40-31. Your score there midway through the second half. As Harrison slows things down, he's got 10 to shoot. Bobbles it over for Wright. Brent extending his range, gets it to go. Stephen Brent, a triple. And elsewhere in the SEC, the local Missouri Tigers down 77-70 on the road against the Alabama Crimson Tide. 4:38 left in that game. No, it's a very popular team in the area, so if you're watching in lieu of Missouri, I certainly appreciate it, but want to make sure that you're updated. 22-point game here. 3-pointer goes. Big bucket there for Marcus Montgomery. 17.3 points per game this season. Come to realize that we might have some Louisville Cardinal fans tuning in the Spalding area, and if you are, then I certainly welcome you to the broadcast. Thank you for supporting Westminster Athletics. They've got a big game tonight on the road at number 3 Duke. Jumper goes. Will Solentrop, season high 9 points for the freshman. Feed down low. Good idea there from Troy Almenair, but he floated out of bounds. Another turnover. Nine turnover for Spalding on the afternoon, 8 for Westminster. Spalding averages 15.8 turnovers a game. They've reeled that in for the second half. Harrison looking for number 6. Jumps off the scoreboard and out. Shot clock up there on top of the backboard. Harrison's been feeling it from deep, but couldn't get that one to go. 5 of 7 from outside. He leads all scorers with 19. Edwards over for Tribble. Nice play design, leads some Montgomery tray, but it won't go. Trailing for Solentrop. Meets contact. Offensive board. It won't go. Showing some emotion that time. Give him credit. Just a freshman. Getting some big minutes here in a big contest. Jumper from Montgomery won't go. Several Blue Jays converge for the rebound that time. Brand uses his height to get that one over Gilbreth. Nine to shoot. Brandt gives it up. Solentrop, got to do something with it. Gets in the mid-range. Gilbreth has to heave it up. Almost went. Solentrop does a nice job following that one. Tried to feed it in there to Omar Wright. It tipped out of bounds off Spalding, but a strange offensive possession nearly ends up in Westminster's favor. Gilbreth will inbound. Wright nearly lost it, but a good job to adjust. Solentrop takes a step in with 6 to shoot. There's Thompson with 4. Floats it up. Halfway down and out. Defensive rebound. Transition triple, misses everything. Chave Gary really struggling. Omar Wright with 7.5 minutes left to play. Wright gets a screen from Solentrop. Good idea there from Wright, but he turns it over. Right at the rim. Braden Warren adjusts and lays it in. Back down to a 19-point game. Matt Mitchell will talk things over with his crew. We'll take a break while they do that. 67-48, Westminster in control at home. And we welcome you back to Fulton, Missouri. Westminster tried to put the finishing touches on win number 6 on the 2019-20 season. Garrett Jones back here with you on the Westminster Athletics YouTube page. Thanks for joining us. Gilbreth with it back for Westminster. They've led by as many as 21. Spalding used a 10-0 run to end the first half to draw back within a dozen. But the Blue Jays have pulled away here in the second. Jumper for Solentrop, long. Offensive rebound, comes back out for Wright. Westminster's done that really well all day long. 7 offensive boards for the Blue Jays. Jumper for Thompson with 10 to shoot. Clobbers off the rim and out. Brian Tribble, seen a ton of minutes this afternoon. Feeds it on over. Prince tries a deep 3, it won't go. Numbers for Westminster. Thompson right at the rack, he scores. Ethan Thompson with the bucket. He's got a large crowd of supporters here today at Fulton. Columbia, Missouri native out of Hallsville High School. Adds 15 on the afternoon. Warren slices in down low, can't get it to go. Solentrop gets the board and running the floor. Feeds on over for Thompson. Solentrop back over for Brandt. Brant right at the hoop, rejected. Jaquan Edwards taking out some frustration that time, but good follow for Omar Wright, who sticks it back up. And Westminster has eclipsed the 70-point mark. Largest lead of the day for Matt Mitchell's squad. Gary slices in, tosses it up, it won't go. Several Blue Jays hit the floor. Gilbreth and Wright both slow to get up. Friendly fire that time for the home team. Westminster will be next in action on January 22nd at Eureka. Then they return home against Greenville. That's a rematch of the 132-131 game back in December. That saw Westminster come up just short as Tribble in transition. Leaves it for Prince. Nice extra passing. They had numbers, but Prince couldn't make it home. 0 of 6 from the floor for him. 0 of 5 from outside. Double comes in the corner. Brant, why not? He cans it. Stephen Brant from outside make it 14 3-point baskets for the Blue Jays. And Greenville, as I mentioned, a team that loves to get out and run. They're 4-2 in conference play, not including their result from today. They average well over 120 points per game, but they surrender nearly 110. A run and gun style of offense. Westminster will see them next week. Gary shakes to the rim and lays it up and in. 24-point lead. Under 4 minutes left to play. Practically a formality at this point. Crazier things have happened, but Brant can't sink the three. Stephen Brant, 2 of 5 from outside today. Wright with a nifty steal. Here comes Thompson. Look out below. He decides to lay it up and in. Westminster had numbers, was set up for a pretty dunk that time. Mitchell calls timeout. He'll get some reserves an opportunity to play at this point. Kevin Gray responds with a corresponding move. Spalding continuing to search for answers on what's been an acrimonious season so far. Much better in SLIAC play, as we mentioned, but still struggling for answers overall. They've won 2 straight. This loss will likely end that winning streak. Intercepted that time by Brant, playing some good defense as well. They're back in action at Blackburn. They're back home against Webster on the 25th, and then they host McMurray on the 29th to close out their slate in January. Jumper for Barber, it goes. Trenton Barber's first triple of the afternoon. Westminster's 15th. They're gunning for that season high. Montgomery can't get it to go. Campbell full speed ahead. Westminster really slowing it down. Grant wants another triple. Right. Nifty feed. Nearly lost it. Stop and pop. Steph Campbell gets it to go. A 31-point lead. Westminster with its largest of the day. Amonair scores down low. Matt Mitchell will get those reserves into the game, and the crowd loves it. Group substitutions. It looks like he's going to run with an entirely new 5. We'll wait to settle down and get you the official substitutions. 2:21 left before the conclusion of our game this afternoon. Welcome back to Westminster. Blue Jays putting the finishing touches on win number 6 of the season. They will get to 5-3 in SLIAC play, so they're in a great position to stay up top. Group substitutions for Matt Mitchell's group: TJ Cochran into the game, along with Adrian Webb, Ezekiel Rogers, and AJ Reed. Jackson Davis also making his game debut. Swinging on over for Adrian Webb. Any player will tell you this is not garbage time. This is a great look to show your coach game action. These players are young. As Cochran tries to try and connect. And the bench loves it. TJ Cochran, the junior from St. Louis, Missouri, and Vianney High School, gets that to go from outside. And no coach will admit that this is garbage time either. It's a valuable opportunity to get their scout team some experience. Better offense that time from Jaquan Edwards. He's had a nice day, and he's a great player. One of the guys that Kevin Gray is going to really look to develop at this point. Cochran, another one. Short. Rebound for Weathers. .30-point game in the waning moments of a great doubleheader. Westminster looks like it's going to get the sweep. Halfway down and out. Up for Davis. Sophomore out of Springfield, Missouri, and Glendale High School. Feeds Devontae Hubbard. Only substitution I missed, sophomore from Lee's Summit. Up top for Jackson Davis. Slices into the lane and gets rejected. Late shot clock. Bit of cherry picking. Nice sweep to the hoop. Jaquan Edwards, 22 points, 10 rebounds, 9 of 13 from the floor. He's going to be really pleased with his performance. Shot clock and game clock separated by 2, so one reserve will get to heave it up. Jackson Davis in the corner, finds Cochran with 8 to shoot. Swing it over. Webb cuts, heaves it up, it's off. Rebound for Gary. Thompson from half court, nearly got it to go. That'll do it. 84-56, Westminster hits its scoring average. They sweep the doubleheader. The women win 75-70. The men with a resounding near 30-point win. Blue Jays get to 6-8 on the season, 5-3 in the SLIAC. Spalding falls to 3-12 on the season, 3-5 in the SLIAC. They will be in action next at Blackburn. Westminster hits the road on Tuesday. They'll be back home. We'll have that game for you on the Westminster Athletics YouTube page on January 25th against Greenville. For our entire crew, for everybody tuning in, we thank you no matter how, no matter where you chose to watch. I thank you for joining us and signing off for the last time this afternoon. I've been Garrett Jones. See you next time on the Westminster Athletics YouTube page.